Hello folks and welcome. So Zorin OS 17.1. A lot of people don't click on the older videos. So today I'm going to use a familiar tool that I've done videos before, but with a different twist today. I'm going to talk about sessions, how to do multiple folders using Grsync, graphical rsync. Rsync is used pretty heavily in the Linux industry for backing up precious photos and documents. So today I'm going to show you an example of using this tool here, but with a little bit of different twist today. I'm going to talk about sessions, which I haven't talked really about before. So I'm going to give you an example of this, and this is a blank portable hard drive, and I'm going to be using 5 folders for this example using Grsync, very similar to script files. So I just replicated 5 folders. There's stuff in there, trust me. All right, so basically I used to write script files, and I still do. I can do the same work. But today I'm going to talk about something that is point and click for you folks using the graphical rsync tool. And rsync is used in the background for a lot of backup applications. Okay. So I'm going to talk about sessions today for that tool. If any of that stuff interests you, these are like productivity tools. All right, first of all, I'm filming in 1920 by 1080. This does look nice in 4K. And again, this is 17.1 Core. In other words, the GNOME desktop, and you can see my system info. Linux is for any age, but the name of the channel is Linux for Seniors. I do encourage subscription because this video will definitely be more than 5 minutes because I'll explain every single detail. So welcome, folks. If you don't find that icon, go find me on YouTube. One more time, Linux for Seniors. So if you want to use this tool, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is go to your software store and go find Grsync. So again, Grsync is graphical rsync. So rsync is used pretty heavily. I used it for many years, still do. I have a script file of one of those that uses rsync. Rsync is found under the hood of a lot of backup applications. So the Grsync part is got the graphical user interface, in other words, GUI. And it's used to synchronize files and folders. So rsync in general doesn't waste any time when you already have files already synced up. It only syncs files that are different, missing, or deleted, depending on the options you use. So install Grsync if you'd like to use this tool for today. So today I'm going to talk about the basic options, but more importantly, I'm going to talk about sessions today. A little bit different twist than I've talked about before. My mission statement, if you have never read it, states this. I start using simple videos, and as the channel grows, I start adding more medium to advanced material. So these sessions here are considered something like that. So you can do multiple folders at the same time. So let's first talk about after you install graphical rsync or Grsync, you can open up your menu here and type in gr and right click. And you can add it to your desktop, and you can also add it to your panel. Now, I inevitably always get some messages back sometimes for some of the stuff that I do over the years, and this is not my first channel. And someone stated, I think it was a couple of times, different users, hey, I used Grsync, but it stopped working. I can't figure out why. And my reply normally is this: what were the settings? And the user usually replies back, I don't remember, because I didn't take screenshots. So may I suggest before you play with this tool is to take 3 screenshots, basic, advanced, and extra options before you change anything, because these are so easily clickable. Okay. Down here on your Zorin menu, next to the volume key, if you click that, you'll have a camera. That's a screenshot tool. At least take a window screenshot. It's very simple. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I'm still recording here. I am. Okay. Anyways, So take yourself the screenshot times 3, basic, advanced, and extra options. So light that up or light this up, whichever you prefer, and snap that. Now with 17.1 Zorin, it automatically generates a folder in your pictures folder called screenshots. Okay? So I can clearly see what these are. Because it's very simple to do when you do stuff like that. You're moving the window, you inadvertently click that. Now that's different from the default, isn't it? So sometimes people click on things and are not sure what they click on. Or they turn things off. Okay? So here's your default settings. Here's the advanced settings. Screenshot number 2. Okay? And then screenshot number 3. Why would I waste time taking a blank one? Because in case you wanted to compare it and you're having some issues with Grsync and something is now clicked and filled in, so you can compare it. That's the only reason I'm mentioning this. All right, so we're going to go to basic options and we're going to start with default. So I have this nice 2 terabyte drive sitting here. If you're curious, it's a NVMe drive. It's 2 terabyte formatted with extension 4. It's quite fast. NVMe's are normally mounted inside the computer on your motherboard, but they do sell enclosures for those now, and I do have one. I've got a fairly inexpensive enclosure for one, and I mounted this 2 terabyte drive on the outside of the machine connected to a USB 3 cable. That's why I can replicate these in such a hurry. There's 5 folders for you in less than 3 seconds. Yes, they all have stuff in them. All right, so let's talk about basics first. We're going to go to default, and we're going to wipe this drive again. Starting with the basic options for graphical rsync. Again, it uses rsync under the hood. So I usually write script files, but I don't expect everybody to write script files because this tool is a very versatile tool also for point and click. But here's an example of a script file. I just replicated the same folders without this tool because it's using the same stuff in the background, Grsync or rsync. Graphical rsync is what this is. So let's do the basic stuff. Click something open. Sam is our user for today. It's just a made-up name. Documents, open, and we're going to use this clean, nice, brand new USB 2 drive and hit the play button for basic settings. I'll talk about some of the other options here in a second. So change up the folders. I'll go with music. And you get the idea. I can do this all day long. Just keep changing folders. Or you can create yourself sessions. And you can do this not with only single files, single folders, but you can also do lists. So I will wipe these again. So I have this thing called short list 1, and I'll show you how to create this in a minute. But let's say if I just wanted the 1 folder. Okay, that's 1. All right, it helps if I click something. How's that? There we go, pictures. If I wanted to add docs and music with it, then I just click those. So it's pretty versatile. Sessions are add, delete, import, and export. Now, why would you want to export anything? Once you create a shortcut called a session, you can save these. It will save it with all the settings. And if you got something working, I would actually make a backup of it. You can certainly do a screenshot of this, but why don't you also just export it? Create yourself a folder somewhere, call it backup Grsync, and then back up these things. Okay? And it backed it up into my documents right in here. So I have all these examples. They all end with Grsync on them. In case you reinstall the application, you can also import them back, or you change this so badly you can't figure out what's wrong with it. You can always delete this music one and re-import this one because that one was probably working before that, right? So you take one of these shortcuts while it's working and you export it to have a backup of it. That's the whole reason for this. Or not. You can just not use it at all if you like. Your choice. What I'm going to do here though, I'm going to go to default, and normally this is blank, right? The only reason that has stuff in it is because I clicked that manually earlier. So we're going to wipe this clean and we're going to start from scratch. So while I'm in here, I'm going to delete this. You cannot delete the default, okay? It just doesn't delete. But I can delete the rest of these so I can give you a demo of how this is done. And again, these are like shortcuts. They're called sessions, but you can, like I said, you can import them, export them, that kind of thing. And they will be your helper. Once you got these created, you don't have to sit there and recreate the wheel all day long. These will be a nice tool for you to use. If you still want to just use the basic function, as I pointed out in my previous videos, it's one source, one destination. You can click the current drive or click other hard drives. That's all up to you. Okay, so this is again an NVMe 2 terabyte drive, and I am currently using a lot of files in here, so I'm going to hit and dump my trash. So that'll clean up that drive, and I don't know what's in lost and found. Let's see. I open that up and see if there's anything in there. No. Okay, so we should have this pretty much clean. Let's take a peek at it now. Okay, good. We're back to 1.9. All right, so we're going to start with default. Again, you can't delete that one. Now, the reason I would suggest you do it this way, because this is a trial and error kind of thing, and it may frustrate you if you do it otherwise. But start with the default with the standard no source, no destination, and the default settings, and then you hit the plus key. We're going to be first creating a simple session, and then we're going to create lists. So let's start with what's important to you, or Sam in this case. Sam is our user for today. Control L. Now you can see the displayed name at the top. Documents, music, maybe your personal folders and pictures. All right, when I do use rsync, whether it's Grsync or regular rsync, it doesn't matter because rsync is rsync. I don't like spaces in folder names. So that's why that's called my junk with no spaces in them. When I write script files, they work better. So I've kept that habit up for a little bit. Sometimes on my videos, you'll see folder names without spaces in them, but generally not. All right, we're going to start with plus. We're going to pick on the first folder, documents. You don't have to call it documents exactly the way it's spelled, because this is just a session name. So you can call it docs if you like, or just D. Then we need to populate the fields. That does need to be clicked on. So rsync knows where to send this stuff. So source and then destination. So you're copying documents and sending it over to this device here. You can also think about this now or later. Delete on destination, just if you want the simple translation, it makes an exact duplicate of your original and emulates that on this device. In other words, that would include additions and deletions. That's the most important thing, is when you click this on. If you leave that off, it doesn't delete anything on the destination. It only replicates forward. So it will still replicate everything currently in that document folder. But as Sam, our user for today, were to edit stuff in here during the week, or even delete, it will replicate the edits, but not delete anything. Does that make sense? So that's why that's called delete on destination. That is sometimes preferred by a lot of folks, and I'm going to use it today. Okay, I'm done with that one. Now I'm going to click to default so I get a clean slate and hit plus. The second one we're going to do is music. Again, I'm just using lowercase letters. And then click on the appropriate folders and device. And keep in mind, I don't have to use this storage device. I can use others also. Delete on destination and back to default, clean slate. My junk is the next one in line. Doesn't have to be spelled with uppercase letters because it's just a session name. The folder, on the other hand, rsync needs to find. So that would be done in here. and we're going to send it to the same device. We'll just keep everything the same. Delete on destination. I'm going to go from here to default so I have a clean slate. I just recommended doing it this way. It'll make it simpler. That was easy because that's the same folder name with a 2 on it. It's not always going to be that easy, but more importantly, you can. All right, now I have one left. I'm just going to do pictures next. And we're just going to call it pics. Okay, and pictures. And folder, delete on destination. I'll do one more for Sam's home folder. So this one here, I will actually caution you on. So Sam is our user, so Sam's home folder also contains hidden folders. I'll show you that in a second. I'm going to replicate it for you. So this time I'm just going to click his house. And that just puts in home Sam in there. And then destination. Delete on destination. That means it's going to sync everything. All right, so I have all of these. And before I show you Sam's home folder, let me just do one more. I'm going to do lists. So to do lists, you start with default. You click that and you give your lists a name. I will call this about what I used before, just short list. And I'll call that number 1. You can create many of these as you want. And then add as session set. Now when you do that, when you click that, this will disappear in the background. And this is what you're going to be using for that short list name. You can use one folder, which is pretty simple to do, or you can use 2 folders or more. Now I'm going to go back up to default and create another one. This one, I'm just going to call it short list all, just to be different, and leave that on. And then I'll click all of these. Now, why would I not click Sam's home folder? Well, that's because Sam's home folder is actually part of pics and all the rest of these folders, including default. Now, my current default doesn't have anything in it, but it could have another folder in it. But right now, I'm just going to replicate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll wipe these out so I can show it to you. Now, the reason I wouldn't click that, because again, if I were to do that, I would do this and unclick these, which is the same process, except it does all of Sam's home folders, including hidden. I just wanted to let you see how versatile this tool is. Okay, so I am doing 5 folders here, calling it short list all. Okay, so we went from single folders, 1 source to 1 destination, to 2 folders in this case, but I can click more, and this one has all 5 of these. And if I created more sessions, that would be a longer list. However, I am going to switch this up to Sam's home folder and explain what this is going to do. I will wipe this clean. The first thing I'm going to do though is go to Sam's home folder to explain a couple things if you're not aware of. There's extra files and folders in here. A lot of people don't realize this because they're hidden. Under the hamburger menu, you can show them. Show hidden files and folders. Another keyboard equivalent is Control-H. It's very common with modern file managers for Linux. All right, so everything that has a period or a dot is a hidden something. This folder here can be enormous sometimes. It contains a lot of files, possibly from your web browser. Those extra things that your web browser creates. Those junk files and all the other files your web browser sometimes generate. They got to go somewhere. So some of them go in here. And this folder grows. You can see all these hidden folders. that you normally don't see. And this has no designation on that when you do this. However, it's simple though. I can sync up Sam's home folder to this device. And I can do this because this device here is not a slow device. This is very fast. Again, this is an NVMe drive. I'm going to sync his whole folder up in less than a couple seconds. I'm even going to leave that on. Now the process only took 3 or 4 seconds, and that's the slowest it'll go. Why do I say that? Because see, Grsync doesn't need to resync information that is already currently here. So it only resyncs information that is missing or changed or possibly deleted if you have this option on. Everything in here is in Sam's home folder, including his hidden stuff. The stuff you normally don't need, those cache folders. All those hidden files and folders are here, including the trash cans, of course. All right, how big is this thing currently? Well, I don't think it's that huge. It's 1 gigabyte. Still, I did 1 gigabyte transfer in 3 seconds. It's not too bad for a USB 3 connected drive. All right, but more importantly, I just wanted to make you understand that you're syncing up also hidden files and folders, and you better have enough storage space on your current USB storage device. Keep in mind, some folks are going to be using maybe some of those smaller USB sticks or thumb drives. USB 2s are the slowest, of course. All right, so I just created from default extra sessions. And those sessions, again, can be exported and imported and deleted also. The good thing about exporting a session that is currently working, and for some reason something happens and it doesn't work anymore, you may want to just delete it and then re-import that if you saved it in that folder in here. That's what's good about keeping these as backups. The second reason is after you create your creations and export them, in case you reinstall Grsync for whatever reason, you'll have copies of them. You know, so export them onto a USB stick for later. Maybe you're reinstalling Zorin. Don't have to rewrite these. Maybe, but they all have the same name as this device, but they can be altered in 2 seconds. All right, I have a demo drive to show you with a backup folder that says Zorin Backup on it because I created this folder earlier on my demo drive. This drive is not normally auto-mounted at all. This one is. So I will switch this up and we will do documents and open up this demo drive and go to that folder. And you can see that it says Media Sam Demo on it. This drive here says MNT. That means it's auto-mounted. This is not auto-mounted. That is the other drive, this one here. I'll let you see this replicate. It's done. I will wipe this drive clean. And then I'll switch this to the other drive and hit play to see how quickly I can do this. So I went and made a copy here, exact duplicate, and here, an exact duplicate. All I did was just flip this little switch in here using a session. So sessions can be your friend. You don't have to use them. Default, single, source, single destination. Delete on destination, again, is an exact duplicate on the other end. You may or may not want that. Now, if you noticed, I have turned mine on all of these. So I'm going to quickly just give you a demo of this, and I'm not going to discuss this in this video. This is a script file. That script file is currently located right here. And this is what it looks like. And I also use -- deletes. This is an auto-mounted drive, the one that's currently online right now. So for that script file, it looks like that. And for this one, this is a non-auto-mounted drive, and it will say media on it. This is the exact same drive actually, with a different script file written for it. So script files can be very versatile too. And if you noticed briefly, because I wasn't going to discuss script files today, but it also was using Grsync. Very versatile. Your backup program that you have in the system already also uses, I believe, Grsync in the background, which is this one right here. Mine is turned on, and this is what the files look like on that one. Okay, and I'll open one of these to let you see that's not really a nice and friendly file to stare at, unlike these are. Whatever you choose to use for backing up your precious files, I just introduced you to Grsync, and more importantly, I introduced you to sessions and lists. Now you know how to do some of that extra stuff today. Thank you for watching.